Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be more about the narcissist and their blame shifting. As narcissistic people, most narcissistic people refuse to admit fault, refuse to take responsibility for their behaviour. They refuse to be in the wrong. They are adamant they are right. They refuse to let go of control. Therefore, most narcissistic people are going to find a way to shift the blame for their behaviour over to somebody else. Whether that is blaming someone else for the reason behind their behaviour, the cause behind their behaviour, or whether that is to somehow justify or excuse their behaviour. When abuse is abuse, there is no excuse. The narcissist's personality disorder, narcissism, is more to explain the reasons behind their behaviour. It does not excuse their mistreatment of others. Their behaviour is on them. Narcissists are very entitled people, so they often believe that it's all about them. They hold that belief that they are special and that they are above others and that it's one rule for them and another rule for those around them. However, if they believe that those around them are going to disagree with them and there's going to be consequences to their actions, they're going to find a way to shift the blame so that they, the narcissist themselves, doesn't have to face the consequences to their actions because they believe that they're entitled to do as they please, and they are incredibly exploitative people. So they will sell the narrative that always works in their favour. They are looking to covertly, underhand, to manipulate people, to exploit people to their own gains, to use people for the narcissist's full advantage, yet they don't want to take responsibility for what they do to people. They don't want to face the consequences for their actions. So they're going to find somebody to blame if they get caught out on their behaviour. There's many unfair ways a narcissist will use to exploit others, to use people to their full advantage. And there are many unfair ways a narcissist will use to get away with what they're doing to people, which is why, as much as people want to try and help them, you cannot help a narcissist. The more you help them, the more they will exploit you. What we can do is recognise their behaviour and learn to no longer play their games. Learn to step away, leave them to go and do themselves while we go and do ourselves. If we can't accept somebody else's behaviour, it's not our job to change it. That's the individual person's job to change it. Yes, when we know something is hurtful or toxic, especially when it's happening to those that we truly care about, we want to step in and we want to solve it for them. People unfortunately have to solve things for themselves. People have to figure things out for themselves. And life has some pretty nasty lessons at times that a lot of people don't want to go through. However, narcissistic people fail to learn from their mistakes because they're too busy blaming everybody else. And the more we forgive them, the more technically we are hurting them, because the more they believe they can get away with it, the more they don't deal with themselves. Those who blame themselves, question themselves, doubt themselves, have the ability to change themselves, to learn from past experiences and move on for something better within their own lives. So when it comes to a narcissist, if they feel like, or if they fear that they are being threatened, shamed, blamed, rejected, embarrassed, criticised, exposed, disrespected, those around them aren't being compliant, loss of control, those people around them aren't interested in them, loss of attention, if they feel neglected or humiliated, to make themselves feel better, narcissistic people go out to hurt other people. Most people can feel these emotions. Most people can go through these things. Most people who are genuine, who are feeling neglected, will try to communicate with another person, or will try to serve another person, will try to help another person out. Those who are feeling humiliated might step back from what they are doing, might question themselves and look inwards and change their approach on something. Narcissistic people, when they feel these things, they seek to punish the person or the people that they feel are causing those feelings within the narcissist. They will seek to punish people spiritually, sexually, financially, psychologically, physically, emotionally. They do all they can to get one over the person or the people that the narcissist believes has threatened them, intimidated them, shamed them, blamed them, criticised them. And it can be something as simple as calling them out on their behaviour. So they feel threatened, they feel like they're going to be exposed, so they're going to go all out to punish the other person any way they can, even if it's just causing that mass smear campaign to discredit the other person's character so that the narcissist can get away with their behaviour. And they're going to do so, and they're going to do it in a way where they can shift all the blame onto the other person so they don't have to take responsibility for their own behaviour. When a narcissist cheats on another person to avoid people looking badly on them for being the cheater, they're going to accuse the ex of being crazy, the ex of having problems, so that people understand why somebody would cheat on another person. And people buy into it because of that narcissist's charismatic charm, and usually because of the psychological damage they've caused to the other person, who might be looking a bit unhinged, especially with all the gaslighting that a narcissist puts people through. It's difficult to recognise what is happening to you while you're in it. It's difficult to recognise what's happening to other people who are in it when we don't have the knowledge of it. Once a narcissist has punished another person, they are going to seek to shift the blame any way they can. Now, this can be the narcissist projection, their natural defense mechanism, where any faults, any mistakes, any weaknesses, anything they don't like about themselves, any emotions they don't want, so they're going to find a way to pass those into the other person so they can stand back and blame the other person. If a narcissist is feeling unhappy, they're going to make those around them feel unhappy, and then they're going to stand there and go, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" Because the narcissist will then be happy again that they've made the other person unhappy. They're going to pass their feelings on to other people so that they can blame the other people for their feelings, so that the narcissist doesn't have to deal with their feelings. The other person has to deal with the narcissist's feelings within themselves, and it's very confusing. Which is the narcissist baiting. The narcissist is going to set the environment to bait you, to provoke you into reacting in a way that serves the narcissist. So if the narcissist is wanting attention, they're going to love bomb you to gain that attention. If a narcissist is wanting a negative reaction, they are going to poke away at you until they get that negative reaction from you. They're going to chip away at you until you explode at them, and then they're going to turn around and go, "Oh, somebody's had a bad day. And what's wrong with you? What's your problem?" When you were perfectly fine before they entered the building. Yet when you start saying, "Well, I was fine till you arrived," you then feel like you're the one that's shifting the blame onto them and questioning yourself, and not the person who is the root cause to your issues due to their psychological manipulation of you. A narcissist will try and gaslight you to shift the blame. So what you are feeling, they'll claim you are not feeling, or what you are not feeling, they will claim you are feeling. What you see, they will claim you did not see. What you heard, they will claim you did not here. They want to gaslight your reality so you don't know whether you're coming and going, so you feel confused, so you feel crazy, so you feel intrigued, so you become curious, and it sends you into a haze as you're trying to figure out what on earth is happening to you. Sometimes fawning to the narcissist behaviour, other times reacting to their behaviour to try and prove your point. And the more you try and prove a point with a narcissist, the more they don't want to be in the wrong, the more they're going to seek to punish you, and the more they're going to blame you. A narcissist will triangulate, they'll bring a third person into it, even things down to, well, everybody else is doing it, they're doing it. They're going to do all they can to triangulate, to justify their immoral or wrong behaviour. They'll find a scapegoat to blame. They might play on their past. Oh, well, you know what happened to me in my childhood. You know what my parents were like. Well, I never learned this. I never got that opportunity. They're going to play the victim through their past. So they're going to find somebody to scapegoat, or they're going to accuse somebody else. That wasn't me, that was them, so that they don't have to take responsibility for their behaviour. A narcissist will manipulate any way they can to get away with what they're doing to others or with others scot-free, so that they can continue gaining whatever it is that narcissist wants from other people. And sometimes a narcissist will simply play the victim. You might not even be trying to make them out to be wrong. You might just have a different opinion to them. You might just be trying to get them to see a different perspective. You might agree with what they're saying and be, yes, I see what you mean. However, there is this. A narcissist isn't going to like this. With a narcissist, you must agree with them, or they're going to take offence to you. And this is when they might turn around and say, oh, you never take my side. Oh, I knew it would be my fault. When they say things like, oh, I knew it would be my fault, you find yourself apologising and making it up to them for the very things they've done to you. Or they might turn around and say, well, it's your fault if you hadn't. Or they could turn around and say, that's not my fault. It's nothing to do with me. And it gets you into explaining and defending and justifying yourself to them so that they can use your words against you to their advantage. They might say, what do you want me to do about it? Deal with it. Not my problem. That didn't happen. Stop overreacting. Well, if you hadn't, you're awkward. Why do you have to make everything so difficult? What's your problem? What's wrong with you? My ex didn't mind. That's just like you. Oh, I forgot you were perfect. You're crazy. Because they want to get you defending yourself to them so that they don't have to deal with what they do to you. Which is why when dealing with narcissistic people, the best thing you can do is don't. Recognise that's who they are. That's their personality. That's their behaviour. The more you are around them, you are not going to change them into the person they sold themselves to be. They are going to continue to change you into believing you are who they truly are as a person. They're going to continue to manipulate you, to doubt yourself, to blame yourself, to question yourself, and to serve them, to become too afraid to say no to them, to try and work out what you're doing wrong, to try and help them. Recognize what they are doing to you and stop explaining, stop defending yourself to a narcissist. They are not interested in your point of view, only in using your point of view against you so that they can win, so that they can be right, so that they can escape taking responsibility, so that there's no consequences to their actions. It's very, very difficult when we don't recognise it. And when we do recognise it, because it is natural to want to explain ourselves and defend ourselves, and it is natural to try and want somebody to see our point of view. And when you're dealing with somebody who's willing to have that two-way communication, who's willing to see your opinion as you are willing to see theirs, great. You can agree to disagree with people, you can see it from different perspectives, you can learn together, you can grow together, you can develop together, you can understand that you don't always have to agree with each other. When you are dealing with a narcissist, you are always going to be made to feel like you are in the wrong. You are always going to be blamed, shamed, criticised and judged. They are going to go and invalidate you to the absolute maximum. The only time they're going to be there for you is when they want something from you so that they can confuse you all the more. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please add those into the comments. If you are looking for more understanding and information and help overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, we do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I shall add the playlist on blame shifting as it gives more information on the individual techniques that a narcissist uses to shift the blame over to you so you can recognise what they are doing to you. This isn't to explain to them what they are doing or why they shouldn't be doing it, because they're always right. They're going to find a way to accuse you. If you tell a narcissist they're gaslighting you, they're going to turn around and claim that you're gaslighting them. If you tell a narcissist they're projecting on you, they're going to turn around and tell you that you're projecting on them. This is for you to recognise and say, yeah, I see what you're doing here. I'm going to stay in my reality. You keep yours over there, and I'm going to stay in mine. I know what happened. I saw it. I heard it. You don't want to take responsibility for it. I don't really need you in my life. Go out there and think of one thing that you would really, really like to do. If you can make that happen today, go and do it today. If you need financial resources, if you need something to get yourself there, create a plan of when you would like to do that thing, and then start today on achieving that goal. Thank you very much for listening. Go out there, create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.